an astrophysics concept of the background material. That background material, highly dense, extremely hot, so that it becomes almost like gold and full of fire. Now, Hiranyagarbha belongs to that category. The whole universe is inside Hiranyagarbha. He has only to bring it out. That's the word Garbha is used. It's all there. He has to deliver the world out. Now it is inside. So these are all technical terms coined by Vedanta to express these profound scientific ideas. From Brahman, Hiranyagarbha Samavartata Agre Rigveda, you find this statement. Hiranyagarbha was the firstborn from Brahman. From that, everything else came. So the word Hiranyagarbha is used here. That Hiranyagarbha were identified with the Vyakritis. The Bhur, Bhuva, Suva and Maha, the Vyakritis. Another meditation, identifying it with the groups of 5 things, beginning with the earth, etc., is being stated. That is the next section, which will end this kind of the Brahmana portion, including into the Upanishad portion. This next verse. Prithivyantariksham Tyaurdisho Avantara Dishaha. This is the earth, the sky, the heaven, the primary quarters, the intermediate quarters, fire, air, the sun, the moon, stars, water, herbs, trees, sky, and the Virat, means the universal physical form of the divine. All this put together is a unity. So we see them differently there, Virat. These relate to natural factors. This is called the nature around us. All have been enumerated in a particular manner, including the word Virat. Virat means the universal form. The individual form and the universal form. You and I are the individual form. This universe is the Virat Sarupa of the divine. These relate to natural factors. Then follow the personal ones, dealing with the human being. Prana, Vyana, Apana, Udana, Samana, the 5 pranas. Then the eye, the ear, the mind, the speech, and the sense of touch, skin, flesh, muscle, bone, marrow. This is the personal aspect of the divine reality. Having imagined these thus, the seer said, but it is all this is verily constituted by 5 factors. One fills up the outer 5-fold ones by the individual 5-fold ones. One fills up the other. There is no difference between the two. Take, for example, my body. There is no difference between this body and the natural world outside. That natural world becomes part of my body. That is how I built up my body. So an outpost of the same external world. So this unity between the external and the internal is emphasized in the Upanishads. Then, Atma implies cosmic gross body, Virat Sharira. Ordinarily, it means the physical body of mind. First meaning of the word Atma is this body. Now here, to the Virat Sharira, the universal form of the divine, which you can see, which you can handle, which you just penetrate through your various devices today into the far interior of space. All that is Virat. Virat actually means universal, vast, cosmic. Virat Sarupa of the divine, which Krishna showed Arjuna in Gita. Virat Sarupa. That's called Virat. And so, in this one, these are the 5-fold 5. These 5-fold 5 purely connected with the rituals and theology of the Brahmana portion of the Vedas. We can't make head or tail of it, but they are there, they are mentioned there. But the next chapter is something very great. They endowed with this vision. The meditation on Brahman, says Shankara, as identified with the Vyakritis, was stated in 156. Then followed a meditation on the same Brahman, conceived of as a fivefold entity, 17. Now is being sought to be enjoined a meditation on Om, which is involved as a factor in all meditations. For though Om is a mere word, it becomes a means for the attainment of the Supreme Brahman or of Hiranyagarbha, in accordance as it is meditated on the idea of the Supreme Brahman or of Hiranyagarbha. Just as an image, as it is a symbol of Vishnu, so is Om verily a symbol of Brahman and Hiranyagarbha. This is, Om is presented in the Vedas as a symbol of the divine. Om Shabda Vachyam, Om Shabda Pratikam Cha, Shabda Vachyam. When you utter a sound, it must have a meaning. Here Om means Brahman. Then a Pratika, like Vishnu image. Oh, that is Vishnu, we say. So Om, you say, it is Brahman. It is a Pratika of Brahman. So Om Shabda Vachyam, Om Shabda Pratikam Cha, says Shankara in his commentary on the Katha Upanishad. And so, Om really is the symbol of Brahman. The illumined soul attains either the two through this one means alone, namely Om, either Hiranyagarbha or Brahman. You will get through Om alone. Now comes the text. Om iti Brahma. First. Om iti idam sarvam. Om ityedat anukritirha smaha va apyo shravayetya shrawayanti. Om iti samani gayanti. Om shom iti shastrani samsanti. Om iti adhvadyuh pratigaram pratigunati. Om iti brahma prasauti. Om iti agnihotram upajanati. Om iti brahmana pravachannaha brahmopa navaiti brahmaiva apnoti iti ashtami. The 8th chapter is over. So, there are several uses to which the word Om is put. Now we use it only for the name of Brahman, the holiest word, Om. Before any mantra, Om is put there. But in the Upanishad, at that time, Om was used for many purposes, and this para tells you that. Om is Brahman. Om is all this. Om is well known as a word of imitation, that is concurrence. Moreover, suppose we say, is it all right? Om means you concur. That's the idea. Okay. The Americans have made a word okay, coming from two words. They made it into okay. It has become universal now. So, when I do it, okay means Om. Yes, you can do. That's the meaning. Moreover, they make them recite to the gods with the words Om. Recite to the gods. You give permission. All right, Om means recite to the gods. Uttering the words, they commence singing samas with Om. Swami Veda is sung beginning with Om. Uttering the word Om Shom, they recite the Shastras. The priest Adharyu utters the encouraging words with Om. He just helps the other priest to encouraging them Om, like that you will say. One permits the performance of the Agnihotra with the word Om. Everything is ready. Shall I begin sacrifice? Om. Then immediately you begin. There is also Om is used for that. A Brahmana, when about to recite the Vedas, utters Om under the idea, I shall attain Brahman. He verily attains Brahman. Om is Brahman. Om ityekaksharam Brahma. Vyaharan mam anusmaran. Krishna says in the Gita, this ekaksharam Brahma, single syllable name of Brahman is Om. Meditating upon Om and in me, man attains the highest, says Krishna in the Gita. And so, Om iti idam sarvam. All this universe consists of Om, sound. That's a wonderful theory in our philosophy, the Spoda theory of sound. The whole universe is nothing but sound. That sound in its original form is just Om, that is the first sound. For instance, he gives an example, as I quoted it last Sunday, as all the leaves are held together by their midrib. So, in this way, all the words are joined together by Om. The Chandogya, chapter 2. Since all that is nameable is dependent upon names, if you can name a thing, you name it. Then you identify it, give it a place. You get a knowledge of it even by naming. It is said that all this is Om. The remaining passage is for the praise of Om. All this that is mentioned there, the Prasavati approves. The priest will approve beginning of the Yajna. So Prasavati, that's the word used. Shall for operation, like that. Then Agnihotra he does, etc. May attain Brahman by the names of Om. Om is Brahman. It is a symbol of Brahman. Through the symbol you realize what is symbolized. Therefore, Om is the sacred word. The whole Vedas came from Om, only extension. First it was extended to the famous Gayatri. Then it extended to the whole Vedas. It's all lengthening from small dot, the whole Vedas have come from Om. The purport of the passage is that since the activities which are undertaken with the utterance of Om become fruitful, Om should be meditated upon as Brahman. This is the chapter 8. In the 9th chapter, very beautiful ideas come, and the 10th chapter is where you have that convocation address, and the students leave the Gurukula for going home and marrying and continuing his life. The teacher gives a parting advice. That is very beautiful. It is like a convocation address of today. That comes towards the end of this chapter. So here we shall deal with this next Sunday, this particular section 9, 10 and 11. These three together constitute this chapter, and then we'll begin the very wonderful chapter Brahma and the chapter where pure philosophy comes straight and through argument, through discussion, which is something very original. From the known to the unknown is a passage you get in those two chapters. That we shall study at that time. Today we study the last 3 verses or 3 chapters of the first book of the Taittiriya Upanishad. The section deals with Om, its various uses during the Vedic period. Now we use it only for the holiest mantra or the first mantra of every mantra. That is the use of Om today. But in the Vedic period it was used for various purposes. They are mentioned here. Om iti Brahma, it says, chapter 8, Ashtamo Anuvak. Om is Brahman. Om iti idam sarvam, all this universe of sound is nothing but Om. Om ityetat anukritirha sma va apyo shravayeti ashravayante. Om iti samani gayanti. Om shom iti shastrani shamsanti. Om iti adhvajiho pratigaram pratiganati. Om iti brahma prasauti. Om iti agnihotram anujanati. Om iti brahmanaha pravachyanaha brahmopapnovaniti. Brahmaiva apnoti iti ashtamo anuvak. This is the 8th chapter. Om is Brahman. Om is all this. Om is well known as a word of imitation, that is concurrence. Moreover, they make them recite with the words Om, recite. They commence singing samans with Om, Samaveda verses. Uttering the words Om Shom, they recite the Shastras. The priest Advalyu utters the encouraging words with Om. The priest Brahma approves with the word Om. Yes, okay, as I said last Sunday, there exactly means okay, approves. One permits the performance of the Agnihotra sacrifice with the word Om. A Brahmana, when about to recite the Vedas, utters Om under the idea, I shall attain Brahman. He verily attains Brahman. So, in Shankara's commentary, he refers to this particular Om iti idam sarvam. All this universe is Om in the form of sound. Every sound is only a configuration of this one primordial sound, Om. That is the idea. Similarly, approves. You can do so, you can do so. Approval. Prasauti is the word. Make them recite under direction. You can do so, you can do so. So all this is in relation to this Om. As I said, after the Vedic period, in the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Om is used only as the name of God. What is the name of God? Om. That is the language. Today also Om is the most sacred word in all of the scriptures. Jainism, Buddhism, and our own Hinduism and Sikhism. In all these religions, Om is the most sacred word for Brahman, the ultimate reality. From this, we go to the 9th chapter. It's a very important ideas are coming there. As you go closer and closer to the 2nd chapter, you are getting more and more spiritual ideas and not merely theological. So here we are coming closer to the spiritual ideas, which will be the central theme of books 2 and 3. Ratam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. This is, meaning is, righteousness and learning and teaching are to be practiced. Ratam means what is true, what is right, what is just. We should practice Ratam along with Swadhyaya and Pravachana. Teaching and learning, they must go together. You learn, keep it to yourself, that learning is dead learning. Learn, pass it on to others, then it is really worthwhile. We hid our knowledge, therefore much of the knowledge disappeared in India. In the West today, knowledge is spread in magazines, articles, new discoveries. Others come and check it up. In this way, a well-established scientific tradition we have. In the Upanishads also we have the same. Pratam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Swadhyaya means self-study. Swa-adhyayana. Adhyayana means study. Swa-adhyayana is swadhyaya. So, swadhyaya should not be given up. Study should not be given up. I have passed MA. I have finished my education. Never say so. You have only begun. That idea must be brought to the mind. I am sure one day our people will learn it, that education is lifelong. not just a little schooling. Education and schooling are not the same. Education, through school you have finished. Education continues in your life itself. This is one of the recommendations of the UNESCO Commission on Education under the title Learning to Be. Till now we had learning to do. Now we want learning to be. Be somebody. That is more important than do something. And so, this idea of continuous education, the mind is creative, never stagnant. The day it stops searching for knowledge, it becomes stagnant. And a stagnant pool is the center of so many evils. Malaria and other evils come from there. So let not the mind be stagnant. So it is repeated in all the lines, with all the various dharmas added to. These two constantly go together. Swadhyaya, pravachana. Pravachana is teaching, exposition. The other is swadhyana, learning for oneself. So the first sentence is Pratam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Pratam, righteousness. Then, along with that, swadhyaya pravachana. Pratam is essential. Without which swadhyaya pravachana will have no meaning. But with Rutam, it will be very significant. Similarly, the second one, Satyam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha, truth or truthfulness. Then swadhyaya and pravachana. Satyam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha, tapas cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Tapas, austerity, self-control. That's all of tapas. Here tapas is never meant to be some physical kind of suffering or public show. Nothing to do with that. Mind is under control. The senses are under control. That process is called tapas. So without tapas, there is no further growth for the human being. That is the central idea in the next two books. Then, tapascha swadhyaya pravachane cha, tapas. Then comes damascha swadhyaya pravachane cha, dhamma, discipline of the sensory system, the external organs. They are called dhamma. All the evils taking place in society all come from bond of dhamma. We can't control. The eye sees something, I must have it, and he becomes a thief. He steals it away. He has no power to control that tendency. So that controlling power is called dhamma. What is mada becomes dhamma, says a verse in the Mahabharata. For ordinary, uncultured people, power, wealth, pedigree, all these are full of inebriation, mada. They are all mada. But the highly cultured, they all become dhamma. They control them, they digest them. That's the language. Taeva mahatam dhamma. The mahat people, these are all become dhamma. They may have millions of rupees as their property. They may be highly educated, but they will never get inebriated. They will be the same human individual. Whenever food is properly digested, it doesn't inebriate the system, toxify the system. It strengthens the system. So also possession. If you can digest it, then you are really a highly cultured soul. So the language used is the mada ime avariptanam. To the uncultured, unrefined people, these are all madas. Taeva mahatam dhamma. But these very things become dhamma for the mahat, for the great people. So it is not a question of possessing or not possessing. How you handle your possession. Are you the master of it or they are the master of you? That should not be. Therefore, the word dhamma comes there. Control of the external sensory system is known as dhamma. A very beautiful Sanskrit word. Then second comes dhamascha swadhyaya pravachane cha, shamascha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Second is shama. Shama is control of the mind and the inner organs. All the inner organs, antakarana, they are under control. That's called shama. So two great virtues we have to make a human being moral, humanistic, and fit for life in society. They are called Shama and Dhamma. Some measure of control of the mind, some measure of control of the sensory system. Shama Dhamma is called. Shama Dhamma Karuna. The song in Sanskrit it is there. This is a beautiful idea. Shama Dhamma. Then Karuna, compassion, comes also from Shama and Dhamma only. So Shamascha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, Agnescha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, the various sacrificial fires, they are called Agnis. That you can do lighting Agni and do sacrifice, but don't miss Swadhyaya and Pravajana. Agnescha, Agnihotrancha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, one of the sacrifices is Agnihotra. Do it regularly, but Swadhyaya Pravajana must go on. Then, Atithayascha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, when an Atithi comes, a guest, you take care of him, feed him, but don't give up study and teaching. This is constant. Atithayascha Atithi. Sanskrit word is not what we consider today as guest. Today's guest is called invited guests. Invited guest is no guest at all. He comes atithi, without any tikhi, no previous appointment. Anyone just walks in, that's called a real guest. And I want a place, I want a little food, yes, you are welcome. Then it is atithi. You invite your brother-in-law or somebody and give a good meal, there is no atithi here. That is purely internal relationship in a family. So, Atithayascha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, Manushamcha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha. So also, Manusham, the very beautiful good. Doing good to society, here is called Manusham. Your social service. Whatever you do good to society, which is composing of other human beings, Manusham, this must be accompanied by Swadhyaya Pravajana. So, Manusham cha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, Prajaja Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, children, having children, household marriage and have children. This is also important. Along with that, Swadhyaya Pravajanacha, Prajanascha Swadhyaya Pravajanacha. So also the process of having children is also included here. Prajanascha, Prajatischa. It says you must have your grandson, grandchild also must come. Then only the line will continue. That is what Shankara used the word. The genetic line must continue from ancient times to modern times. The Prajatischa, the grandson is to be raised. Learning and teaching are to be practiced. Similarly, then comes Prajatischa, Satyamiti Satyavacha Rathitaraha. There was a person called Rathitara, Rathitara's son. He is Satyavacha. His name was Satyavacha. He said, Satyam is everything. Satyamiti Satyavacha Rathitaraha. Rathitara refers to Satyam as the primary thing. He says, Tapa iti tapo nityaha paurishishtihi. Another person, paurishishti. He says, tapas is supreme. He is also very strict in his tapas, tapo nishtha. So that is paurishishti. Swadhyaya pravachane evedi nago maudgalyaha. There was Naga, son of Mudgala. He said, Swadhyaya pravachana alone are important and not everything else. Swadhyaya pravachane eveti nago maudgalyaha. And that ends, text ends, tadhitapaha, tadhitapaha. That is tapas. Study and spread of knowledge. That is tapas. All culture becomes spread in society through this particular action. Somebody builds up knowledge, somebody else spreads it, and thus society gets the blessing of that knowledge. And the whole society is raised culturally thereby. So he ends it by saying, Tadhitapaha, Tadhitapaha. He is called emphatic. That alone, Tadhi, Tapaha. That alone is tapas, that alone is tapas. That is that saint's opinion. 2, 3 opinions you have heard in this section. Now comes the realization of that Brahman in everything in this world. If everything has come from Brahman, Brahman is there, everything in this world. That is the logic of it. So in this chapter 10, one such realization is mentioned. Towards the end of the book, similar realization will be mentioned. Aham vrikshasya deriva. It is after realizing this truth, I am one with Brahman, one with the universe. He simply said, I am the invigorator of the tree of this world. Aham vrikshasya deriva. I am the invigorator of the whole world, which is compared to a tree. Now the word I here doesn't mean that small I that is within, but he has identified himself with that infinite I. Aham vrikshasya deriva. Then, kirti prishtham gireriva urdhvapavitro vajiriva samritam asmi dravinam savarchasam sumetha amritokshitaha iti trishanko vedānuvacana. This is the Vedānuvacana of Trishanku. Trishanku was a sage. This is his divine utterance. What does it mean? I am the invigorator of the tree of the world. My fame is high, like the ridge of a mountain. There. My source is the pure Brahman. I am like that pure reality of the self, which is in the sun. I am the effulgent wealth. I am possessed of a fine intellect, and am immortal and undecaying. Thus was the statement of Trishanku after the attainment of realization. This is how this great realization is expressed here, which will be expressed again towards the end. Shankara comments, I, as the self that rules from within, as the self that rules from within, I am the invigorator of the tree of the world. In any system, its invigorator is within itself. That is one great truth today science tells you. We don't go out to find out the source of invigoration. Take a living cell. Its invigoration is within itself. It multiplies, it builds up varieties and integrates everything, all within itself. So, the concept of explaining the cause from within the organism itself, that is a scientific explanation. To bring any ghost from somebody outside, he did it, he said it is all mere cock and bull story. So here he says, the self that rules from within, I am that. Through that, I invigorate the world tree of samsara, which is subject to uprooting. Because it is a tree, it is there. For some time, it can go away, can be uprooted. So this world is there now. After 20 billion years, it will not be there. It will be uprooted. Again, another world will come into being. That is understood in today's astronomy as well as in our own astronomy. My kirti, or fame, is high, like Prishtam, the ridge of a mountain. Urdhva pavitraha, I, the all-pervasive self, whose urdhvam, that is cause, is the pure supreme Brahman. My urdhva pavitra is Brahman. That is pavitram, purifying, revealable through knowledge. Through knowledge, you can realize this Brahman. That is pavitram. Vajini iva is the same as Vajavati iva. Vajam means food. Vajam, the new Sanskrit word. Annam will come plenty later. Here Vajam is food. Vaji is also a horse in Sanskrit. So Vajam is food. And Vajini means in one that is possessed of food, the one who owns food. So Vajini, Iva, Vajam, Vajini. That is in the sun. Sun possesses all food. All food grown in the world is all product of the sun. So that is the sun. What far from minute things, what far abstractions they can go, and they are all true. Never you will find any mistake in this kind of abstraction. Knowledge concrete, knowledge abstract, both. Just as it is a fact, well known from hundreds of Vedic and Smriti texts, that the Amritam, nectar, the reality of the self, which is lodged in the sun, is pure. Similarly, Asmi, I am, Samritam, beautiful, holy reality of the self, says, Savarchasam means effulgent. Varchas is effulgence. Face shines. A young boy, newly going to school, getting knowledge, and you find a certain brightness in the face, because Varchasam, Varchas, Suvarchas, Suvarchasam, Drabinam is wealth. Drabina is a wonderful word, Sanskrit, or wealth, Drabinam. And I am that wealth which is the reality of the self. That is the supreme wealth, the reality of the self. I am that wealth. The expression I am is to be supplied. Suvarchasam means knowledge of Brahman, which is effulgent. That knowledge alone is effulgent, knowledge of Brahman. And as much as it reveals the reality of the self, through the knowledge of Brahman, you know that the self in you is equally effulgent. There is also infinite in nature. This knowledge comes to you. Then, characterized by omniscience, Medhas. Medhas is my wisdom or intelligence. Is characterized by omniscience, all knowledge. I am the all. Therefore I know the all. There's a language. Why do you say God is omniscient? If God is separate from the world, He cannot be omniscient. He is the world. He is every bit of the world. So, sarvamcha, tajñascha, sarvajñaha. Shankara defines the word sarvajña. He is the all, therefore He knows the all. The solar system is all the sun. The sun knows everything in the solar system. There is nothing hidden from the mind of the sun, because He is the all. So in that sense, I am the wisdom, by omniscience, characterized by omniscience. I am Sumedha, that is fine intelligence, wisdom, being due to my skill of preserving, creating and destroying the world. Therefore I am Amrita, possessed the attribute of immortality, and Akshita, inexhaustible, undecaying, or Akshita, soaked in Amrita or nectar. Both are allowed. There. Now comes the attainment of the realization, Veda, that means Vedanam, knowledge, of the unity of the self. Trishanko, of Trishanku, a seer who had known Brahman and become Brahman. That is one of the seers, Trishanku. This statement was for the sake of expressing the fact that he had reached fulfillment, just like another sage mentioned in the Vedas, namely Vamadeva. He also realized when he was in the mother's womb that I am one with all. That was a wonderful one, only one such character we have in the whole literature, that even before birth we realize Vamadeva Pratipede Aham Manirabhavam Suryascheti. In the Vivekananda Upanishad we studied it. Vamadeva's story is very interesting. In some of the Puranas you find, Mahabharata also, some other connected stories coming regarding this Vamadeva. And here it is Trishanku. This statement was for the sake of expressing the fact that he has reached fulfillment, just like Vamadeva. The idea is that the traditional text in the form of the mantra, as visualized by Trishanku with the eyes of a seer, reveals the knowledge of the self, and it is understood that the self-repetition of this mantra is calculated to lead to knowledge. When we repeat this mantra, we catch a bit of its inspiration. Little by little it will stick to our mind. It will benefit us. So it is meant for recitation. Similarly, thus was the statement after the attainment of realization. It becomes evident that the visions of the seers with regard to the self become revealed to one who engages thus in the obligatory duties and join the Vedas and the Smritis. Those who will live a moral life, they will certainly be able to appreciate these great teachings and try to live them. Without that basic moral life, we cannot appreciate these higher teachings. Today we speak of higher values, knowledge of God, knowledge of the self. Without strength of morality, without being a moral person, we cannot take one step towards that spiritual journey. This is the base. Without a strong base, we cannot go further. So first comes moral values, ethical values, which are social. When I live with you, I am bound to have certain values to guide me. If I am all alone, there is no need for any particular values. So it is social value, ethical value, spiritual value, where you and I live together happily in cooperation, without killing each other, without doing any kind of harm. He has suffered from this very badly after independence. Everything is upset. All the screws are loose in society. In fact, on 21st or so, the information director is organizing a meeting on how to develop a non-violent social order. They have asked me to speak. I said I shall speak for a few minutes. I shall certainly come. This I have promised. So today the discussion is going on, and we have held it long ago. No spiritual development can take place without a moral basis. So first establish how you deal with your neighbor, with happy relationship, honesty, purity, devotion, service. All this must be there. This is called value system. A society inspired by the value system can rise higher to spiritual experiences. Without this, we can never attain any spiritual experience. And so, this is emphasized by these verses. Kritam cha swadhyaya pravatanaita, like that. All the various virtues and graces. In fact, in the Shanti mantra, we already read there. Whatever good virtues are there in the Vedas, let them be in me also. Sloka said so. Te mai santu, let them be in me, let them be in me. So that spiritual development comes after they have established a measure of moral strength, moral steadiness, ethical sense, a concern for the other human being, spirit of service and spirit of oneness. All these things make for what we call in Sanskrit dharma. Establish yourself at the dharma level. Dharma is always based on society, on the basis of other people. If there is nobody in society, there is no dharma, no need of dharma also. Because there are others, how to negotiate between A, B and C without harming anybody or the least harm done to people, we manage to live. That is a very difficult thing. Dharma is not easy, it is very difficult. So the Mahabharata says also. But we can follow great examples who have set the example to us in this way. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. The truth of dharma is hidden in the cavity of the heart, in the Atma, that is in you and me. Truth of the dharma